this first episode of Storytellers in 2020 here, we're going to sit down with Alex Tsaprailis from Big Fish Restaurant. Alex is going to talk about his history in the restaurant industry and how he got to where he is today. I hope you enjoy. This is our first Storytellers for 2020, and we're looking forward to it. Let's start this program with, like we do every other one, and tell us your story.
I've been in the restaurant business for at least 28 years and counting.
Yeah.
It's a hard business. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time and effort. Make the best. This is what I do for a living, so I got to make sure I do it to the best of my ability.
That's right. So how did you get into the industry to begin with?
I got in the industry, just my father was in the industry, and my parents were, I should say both my mom and my dad were in the industry. I was a dishwasher, busboy.
Cool.
I worked for my parents, but then it was like cheap labor then, right? I would just get $10 every week and be working more.
Carry on, yeah.
But then I told my dad, I was like, I want to go get a job somewhere. He knew the owner here, Robbie Burns, at the time, that owned the Old Country Steakhouse. My dad brought me here. I got a job that day.
At this location?
At this location here that we
How
own
old
now.
were you?
I was 14 years old.
14 years old,
Yeah.
And you knew from an early age, like, this is your path, this is what you're meant to do?
You know what, you're absolutely, I was like, I wanted to get in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
You know, schooling, I don't know, I was okay student, but I wasn't pushed, and I just didn't have the drive for school.
Did you ever try any other industries when you were young? Any other? Like,
you know what, I worked at Tim Hortons for 7 months.
Still within the hospitality, yeah.
Back in the day when they used to make their donuts, you know,
Fresh,
have someone make their donuts, I was the donut decorator.
The donut decorator, cool.
Decorated donuts and cakes. So from there, I worked at, I was a waiter at Samuel's Restaurant, which was on Front Street and
how old would that have been?
I was probably about 20 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from there, so 20 you were working downtown. Where did you go to next after that?
Then my parents bought the restaurant in 1992.
Which restaurant?
It was called the Old Country Steakhouse.
Okay, yep.
We changed names from the Old Country Steakhouse to the Brigantine after a year.
So we'll call it a half circle. You started here when you were younger, then you come back.
And then I came back.
And then where from here?
I worked here. I've been working here ever since, and then I ventured off and opened up. I bought another restaurant called Craven's here in town. I ran that for about 4 years.
Were you trying to do both, or were your parents looking after this one?
No, I was still here. I was doing both restaurants at the time.
How did you manage that? What did those days look like?
It was busy, but here, the good thing here at the restaurant here, I have my family here, my mom and my dad. They're older, but they still put in their little working hands. My sister is involved a lot with me, and my brother is the main chef here too. Cool. So it's all here. The restaurant's all family run. It's, you know, the restaurant business is a very tough business. You need people that you can trust and you know, that are loyal to you, that will work hard. So
when you decided to kind of dip your feet in the Craven side there, what kind of, was it an opportunity you saw?
Well, I was married at the time. There was an opportunity there. My friend wanted to get out of the restaurant business.
Okay, so you knew the owner.
I knew the owner. He had a nice, successful business there. I was already thinking, okay, it's successful now. I'd like to make it even more successful.
Saw some opportunity for it.
Yeah, so, you know, I opened it up there with my ex-wife. And,
cool.
Yeah, and that was it. And then I ventured off from Craven's, and then I opened up another place called Lecco's. Okay. In the Walmart shopping district over here in Sarnia.
And again, just saw the opportunity with that.
Yeah, I seen the opportunity there. You know, I kind of, you know, that I made a mistake there. I kind of rushed into that. Opening up Lecco's there. You know, the rent was very high there. Okay. You know, I should have thought of that. You know, especially if people are getting into the restaurant business, you have to make sure you have a good lease, good rent somewhere. So talk about Lecco's then for a sec. So how long were you running there? I was there for 4.5 years. Okay. What drew you there initially? Just what drew me initially there? You know what? Just there was lots of traffic. LCBO, just lots of
some new hustle and bustle.
Going around there and just trying to open up. You know, it wasn't. I think the location was pretty good. I had no problem with the location, but the rent was.
So that's ultimately what.
When you're paying, especially in a small place, you need to be paying a little better in rent.
Absolutely.
And a lot of those, you know, like going into the mall and. You know, they just have a little higher rent. You know, they might have Toronto mentality. I'm not too sure with leasing and renting, all that stuff that goes on there.
Yeah. So while you were there, what are some, besides the rent and maybe kind of having a better understanding of the leasing, what are some key lessons you learned with that whole experience? Or even expand on that, like your experience which ultimately brought you back to coming back to where you're here at Big Fish.
At the restaurant, it was still called the Brigantine. The Brigantine, the business wasn't where I wanted it to be as a brigantine. It was okay, but not to feed a family of 5 that were involved all in the restaurant business. So we needed to do some changes here. We renovated, we closed down for 5 months just to remodel the restaurant and rebrand it pretty much.
Rebrand completely, yeah.
Completely, yeah.
So was there any kind of key things you pulled out of the experience with Lecco's that you were able to kind of learn and adapt as you come back?
I remember when I was doing Lecco's, I think I went, everyone was like, oh, that's too fancy for Sarnia. Well, I didn't think that way. I thought we need places like
some
this.
higher end place, yeah.
At the time, it was just all, your standard restaurants where you go to Krabby Joe's or
diner, franchise type of stuff.
Just all the same. I just wanted to build a nice little atmosphere.
Which it was.
And that I learned that from there. And I had, I was just like, oh geez, I should do this at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Just, close it and modernize it.
Absolutely.
And it's been.
So you kind of took some of those key elements that were working there and pulled them into this area.
Pulled them in here, yes, exactly.
What year did the rebrand, the remodel, everything happen here?
We've been Big Fish now for 8 years. So what's this? 2020. So 2012 we started renovations.
How did when you talk rebrand and even go from the Brigantine, which, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of an older crowd, I'm going to say.
It was an older crowd.
Yeah, to the Big Fish model where it's a younger, more hip, vibrant. How did the customers initially react to that?
At first, a lot of my older customers were like, oh, this is not the same. They're used to the same old thing. But, my clientele now, I think, is a little bit of everybody. I get my older customers. I get my middle age. I get my young people. So I get a little bit of everybody that kind of. Yeah.
This is arguably one of the most popular restaurants in Sarnia.
Well, I thank you. We work hard as a family to make sure we keep it that way.
Yeah.
I like to take care of the front door and
exactly.
Just being personal with my customers.
Yeah. It shows, and I think anytime we've eaten here, you're the first to come up to everybody's table, and I think that's definitely the difference between.
You spend good money. I want to make sure the customer is going to leave here happy.
Absolutely.
It's not like, I don't know. It's different. If you go to McDonald's. Or somewhere you're gonna,
what you get when you walk in there,
but you know what I mean. If you go get a burger and some fries, you're like, you're not even. I don't think you're even gonna go complain unless
you know what to expect when you walk in there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, it's okay. Whatever it was, you fed yourself a little bit, and you'll be all right. Here, I don't know. You're gonna come in, you're gonna spend some money. But at the same time, you're going to get a good quality meal and service and
the experience, the atmosphere, everything like that. Yeah. So. Remind me again, how long have you been? You've been in the industry your whole life, let's say.
My whole life. So I'm 48 now. I've been doing this when I was, when I first got my first official job in the restaurant was probably 14. But I've been working with my parents
all the way through
since I was probably 8 years old, 9 years old. 10
and your
years
parents
old.
have always owned a restaurant.
They've always been in the restaurant business.
Cool.
They're still involved.
Yeah.
And having European parents, sometimes you want to strangle them. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's just pure love.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's right.
I might fight with my brother and my sister here in the restaurant.
Yeah.
I can come back in an hour and it'll be like nothing ever happened.
Carry on.
You got to let it go.
That's right.
It's not meant.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's your family.
So what's the trick to being able to, or would that maybe be it, to working with your family all the time?
No.
It takes a special breed, I'll tell you that.
You need tough skin.
Yeah.
You need tough skin. Some days I'm just like, I want to kill them, and the next day, thank God I had my family here helping me too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's all.
Are they all still somewhat active in the business?
Oh, everyone is here.
Wow. That's awesome.
Even my 90-year-old grandma, she comes and does. Oh, yeah. She comes and washes tablecloths, dinner napkins.
Yeah.
My sister takes care of the books and a lot of other things. My brother takes care of the kitchen.
Cool.
And, but we're all...
It's a family enterprise.
If there's a customer that's not upset, it kind of... it gets the whole everyone's like gets upset.
Yeah, they really take it to heart. You really,
But at the same time, you have to learn too. It's so you're gonna overcook a steak. You're gonna
shit happens.
Shit happens exactly. So you need to and deal with it properly.
Exactly. We say that a lot. When you're building a relationship with your clientele, much like you guys are here. I think people understand that, again, shit happens. It's how you deal with it and how you respond to it and not just
and I think
turn them away.
The longer you're in business, you kind of know if someone's pulling the wool over your eyes.
100%.
Or, it's a legit mistake that you need to fix.
Yeah,
right?
We're only human.
You're only human, exactly. Yeah. So sometimes, you got to be able to, I don't know. I think if someone got a bad meal or something, or they're just complaining because they're just complaining, then.
That's right. You carry on.
I just, sorry you didn't feel that way. Here's your bill. Have a good day.
That's right. But yeah, when you own the mistakes, if something screws
100%,
up,
you're going to fix it right away.
Yeah.
What you'll bend over backwards to fix it.
For sure. You've done this all your life. You've achieved what some would say is the ultimate level of success with the business. You've run a great, successful business in the restaurant industry. You've kind of hit that mountain top, if we call it that. What keeps you motivated to keep going and keep going down that, or what that next level of success? And maybe that's a question. What does that next level of success look like to you, or is it just status quo?
I don't know. I'm 48. I don't really want to work too much longer. So I don't know. Maybe I have my bank facility here that I use. I'm just thinking maybe even more getting more into smaller weddings and utilizing my back room that I have here on. It gets used a lot, but I think I can get it to be used even more.
So is that the motivating factor then to kind of keep you going?
I don't know, just
because I'm sure they're long days.
There's long days. Motivate is I have my daughter. I need to put food on the food on the table.
There you go.
That's what keeps me motivated to keep working hard.
Yeah.
And plus, it's successful, and I want to keep it successful. Yeah. Right. And to be successful, you got to stay on top of things.
Which is even harder.
Yeah. Those bills come in, I get motivated really quick to keep working, so I can go pay them. That way, I can go have my holidays and have my fun.
That's right.
And simple things, even going for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. You take for granted sometimes, even going for dinner, or just even I don't know.
Yeah. How critical are you when you go for dinner now, and when you go to other restaurants?
I could be a little. I think I might be a little hard critic. But
Get out of the way. I'll show you how to do it.
I calm down. Yeah. Sometimes I'm here. I'm just like, geez. But at the same time, I don't really blame any employees. Sometimes I'll look and say, okay, well, this is the owner's problem. You should be able to.
That's right.
To see this. I don't want to send even if they had a waitress, for instance. They're training. You can't. You have to make sure that they know what's going on.
100%.
Because then they'll make you look silly and they'll make themselves look silly.
How important is that culture? The stats around the restaurant industry are high turnover, high headache, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I've been told you run a pretty tight ship and you got some pretty awesome employees here.
Yeah, no, I have good employees, but at the same time, I don't know. I've been doing this so long, so I kind of know what I want from my server. I don't nowadays you have cell phones.
Oh yeah.
Right, so if I see a customer looking for something and I turn around, I see a waitress that's hiding, trying to be on her cell phone, looking to see what she's doing tonight, instead of paying attention to that paying customer.
That's right.
That needed that drink or needed an extra.
Whatever. Yeah. So how would you describe the culture in this place?
I think it's a nice, fun working atmosphere. At the same time, when it gets busy time, it's
time to buckle down.
It's time to buckle down. Off we go. It's a restaurant business, so sometimes things are going to be said, but at the same time, you need to not worry that I don't know. We have waitresses and myself that will be F you, F that, and at the end of the day, we're done. And good job.
You carry on,
Carry on, there we go. So it wouldn't be more FUs, but just
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Everyone gets angry sometimes when you're in the especially in the kitchen. It gets stressful.
It's the heat of the moment.
Heat of the moment. You got a bunch of chits on the board. You have this. There's yelling. That's just the way it is. I'm sure you've watched Gordon Ramsay on a few things. That's just the way. And really, that's how it is.
Is it pretty close?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah. I can see it. High tension.
I'm not going to say I'm Gordon.
No. But
at the same time, if they have
high tension, high atmosphere.
Exactly. It's very stressful.
Yeah.
The restaurant is like a different animal. I have friends that have been in the restaurant business. All of them. Lots of them.
And I think it goes without saying that you're only as good as your last meal.
Yeah. So.
Especially in this world of social media.
100. Then that's the one thing. You have to make sure. Social media is different age now.
100%.
So
maybe speak to that a little bit in terms of how that has evolved over the years in terms of, back in the day, if somebody was upset, you had a chance to deal with it. And it was kind of a closed circuit thing.
You would deal with them, and I still deal with it. I don't really, with social media, if there's any kind of problems on social media, I don't really get involved too much in.
You don't let it get to you.
I'd rather, if there's a problem, I'll get the person's phone number and call them and deal with them face to face.
Bring it back to the person level.
Nothing. I won't be like, sorry, you had a bad dinner.
You don't sit up all night looking at your Google reviews
you can't do that.
Yeah, that'll kill you.
That'll kill you. Yeah. I look at people and I just, for instance, I'll go to Google reviews or TripAdvisor or I'll look at someone's review and then I'll go, okay, he trashed this place. Let's go see what else. And then if you see, it's a pattern.
You know, and I think consumers are really getting used to that, is that there's so much negativity on social media that you can really spot those trolls and those assholes that really make it their mission.
I'm like, you know, I want to comment on them too, like on people, but I just learn not to
100%,
don't say nothing. I just let it go and don't read it again. Social media can work nice. It can work good for you too, and it can work both ways. I love social media for when I post my my meals or customers are happy. I love that stuff.
So it is pretty active within you.
I think for myself, social media is a big part of the way a lot of people do business
You
now.
guys have totally embraced it then. And
That's okay. But I try not to let the negative stuff of social media, you know.
Just do the best you can do and carry
just
on.
like, you know, I think, you know, like, you know, with even kids nowadays, how many likes did that person get on a photo or something? You know, that's...
Those vanity metrics.
It's who cares?
That's right, You
know.
You get so hung up in it, and again, we speak to a lot of business owners that really get kind of sideways. When a negative review comes on, they think it's the world's crashing down.
You cannot let, you know, you cannot let that one person or whoever it is.
You can learn from it, I think, if there's opportunity.
You learn from it and off you go, exactly, Some, you know, you got to take everything and go, okay, well, I don't know.
Absolutely.
You learn from it.
I guess people think the life of a restaurant owner would be extremely long days, long nights, never ending. How do you manage that work-life balance? You mentioned you have a daughter at home.
I have, you know, obviously the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays are a little, you know, your supper time, and the Fridays, Saturdays might be a little busy days. During the rest of you have to, like I said, I'm here with my family, so I'm lucky where I can, if I want to take a week or a month,
you're pretty flexible,
I can do that.
Good.
You know,
so you do make time, and
you have to carve
it
of course. Like you know, you got to go on your holidays. I try to hit holidays at least 2 times, 3 times a year.
Good for you.
You know, sometimes it doesn't work, but at the same time, you still need weekends. I need.
And you able to completely disconnect when you're not here, or is it still kind of lingering?
No,
I don't think anybody business owners
are able to. Where I just like I like, you know.
Yeah, but I don't think any business owner can actually fully disconnect.
I always I call. Even my days off, I come into work. Not that I come into work. I come in to make sure everything is all good.
That's
and
right.
Up and up. They don't need anything. But you know, you have to make time for yourself to go on holidays.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you will get burnt out. And there's some days, you know.
Have you ever experienced burnout?
Maybe I have. I don't know. Sometimes. I think, you know, stress levels. Yes, many times. Right. Stress levels many times. You know, as an owner with my family, you know, making sure, you know, you have money in your account. Like people don't realize, you had a couple quiet weeks, but you know what, HST's coming. Corporates, you know,
they ain't waiting.
They're not waiting for anything. You know, it doesn't matter if you had a quiet week or someone didn't pay their bill and you're still waiting for people to pay, and you know, but at the same time, you just, you know, that's a lot of stress that you have to do. You always have stress on your mind.
Absolutely.
Especially in business.
You know,
you always want to make sure there's customers coming in, you know, money in the account.
Exactly.
You know, but you have to pay taxes, and that's why, you know, I've worked before where I was just getting a paycheck, and then you get the other side where you're the owner and you have to pay.
You're the last one to get a paycheck.
You're the last one. You know, how much is left over? Okay, you worked this many hours. I could. If that was gonna add up all my hours and get a paycheck, I would be retired by now.
We should go work at Walmart. Probably 100%. Make more money.
Probably work. I'd probably make more money just greeting people. So that's the way it goes.
So, what are some tips or tricks or methods that you use to kind of avoid burnout? Like again, or to kind of unwind or separate yourself from the day to day.
I try to. I like to get out of town, that's for sure.
That's it.
I like to wind down and go for dinner. I don't go for dinner here in town just because if I go here for dinner, they'll ask me, well, don't you have your own restaurant to eat? Yes, of course I do, but you know, that's why I'm done work. Sometimes I'll go to McDonald's or Wendy's or Harvey's. I just want a burger or I want a home-cooked dinner. So I tend to go out somewhere else. That's where I like to unwind and
fully separate.
Of course. Have a bottle of wine, some nice dinner, and relax.
Relax a little bit.
Exactly. And I don't let anything, service or any kind of food. I go to restaurants where I know I'm gonna.
Do you tend to prefer the franchise-based restaurants or some more independent type stuff?
I personally like independent restaurants. I like the independent. Nothing wrong with franchise. I like franchise restaurants too, but I tend to stay at independent restaurant.
Kind of support each other.
Yeah, it's all good. Of course.
Get a different. Let's flip back to employees for a second. I'm going by, I think, what everybody maybe assumes with this industry: high turnover rates, high stress, that sort of stuff when trying to find and retain and grow talent. What do you look for when you're hiring, or what do you look for to?
I try to, you know, when I look at resumes or people that are like, especially like, let's say line cooks, I like to see. I don't want to see like 3 months here, 4 months here. I like to see at least 2-3 years, you know, with my cooks.
Perfect.
With my cooks or sous
dependability,
chefs.
that sort of stuff.
Dependability.
Yeah.
Because you do have some high turnover. I've been fortunate where I don't get too much. There's spurts where one person goes, like a ripple effect.
What's your longest standing employee at this point?
I have lots of employees that have been here for quite some time. Like Dave, my bartender, he's been here 8 years.
Wow.
A couple of my other waitresses that have been working for me have been with me a long time too. Yeah. Just, I've been in the industry, so I've worked together.
Yeah, the good ones. Yeah,
So,
I think there's a lot to be said with that, judging the character and going with your gut. I think I've been fooled a couple times when hiring.
You have to, like I said, in this business, I have to know how to cook, how to do everything. And the main thing is that makes the restaurant go is my brother, right? He's my main chef in the kitchen. He doesn't go anywhere. Right, that way I'm not switching up my main chef.
That's awesome.
I might be able to switch up some other.
Get somebody you can rely on, those key people.
Exactly. Can, but I have my brother and Morgan, my sous chef, that's in there. Mm-hmm. She's been with us since 7 years also.
Cool.
So, I've been lucky like that to make sure that I have the people that are.
Those kind of pillars to kind
of. The main people that are here,
yeah.
you have to take care of them.
Yeah.
Some might be young, like I get young kids that come, they're still going to school. So they might work for you for 6 months to a year, which is all good.
Yeah.
That might not be what they're doing, but at the same time, as long as they're working for you, they're working hard and making sure.
Absolutely.
Your customers are happy, and
that's all that matters. Yeah.
And at the same, I tell them, hey, you get in a good working habit, you'll be good at whatever else you do.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be the restaurant, but it'll be something else that as long as you work hard and have that mentality, you can carry that on to anything else that you're doing.
I said to a lot of business owners, you can train stupid, you can't train lazy.
No, you cannot train lazy.
You can't.
No.
Yeah, if they don't have the work ethic, it's one thing. If it's a learning thing, you can absolutely. If they're willing to learn, there's something
they'll get it. One time, 2 times, they're going to get it. But if they don't want to work, then they
forget about it.
They'll be lazy. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do the job for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to think I got the best person doing the job. But at the same time, when they come and do their job, then you kind of find out.
That's right.
I usually, the first 2-3 days,
you know right away whether they're going to be around or not. Yeah.
Even the first day, really.
When they show up 20 minutes late.
It doesn't take long. But at the same time, if they're, you can tell if they're going to be lazy, then you're going to no problem. But if they have the drive to, okay, I did it wrong, show me how to do it again.
Yeah.
They're going to work for you.
Yeah.
And have a smile on your face.
Yeah. Throughout your career, is there one moment in time where you realized that you just had that aha moment that I've done it, I've achieved the success I've always dreamed of, or?
I don't think that moment has really come. Like, say, I'm happy that my restaurant is doing very well. That's all. I can't say I'd like to maybe open up another restaurant down the road, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, I know how much hard work it takes to.
Absolutely.
You got to be married to the place.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I'm like.
Do I want that?
Yeah. Do I want to put that stress again on my life, and do I really want to work that hard again?
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Have there been any opportunities that you may have missed that you look back on and think, shit, I wish I would have jumped on that?
Sometimes. There might be a few, but nothing that I'm not losing any sleep over. Yeah. How's that sound?
If you had to redo Lecco's, would there have been anything you could have done differently to make it more successful, maybe besides the rent?
No, I think I just kept Lecco's the same way it was, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bigger. The space might have been a little too small for what I wanted to do, but other than that, I think
the model was there. Just
it wasn't. It was a mistake on my part. My mistake was the rent, that I should have known better with the rent.
Yeah.
But that's just something, if you're not going to make any mistakes, you're not going to learn from them. I won't do that again.
100%.
So that's the way it goes.
I've been kind of obsessed with that concept right now. Is that you need to fail in order to grow.
You need to fail. If you don't, I've done many mistakes where I've even just in this. By not sitting down someone properly or just not paying attention to them.
Yeah.
Because you really don't know who's coming in the door.
Absolutely.
He might be in a suit and tie. He might be dressed in jeans.
You're talking customers.
Talking customers.
Absolutely.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're.
You're 100% right.
Just be nice to people. That's all. Treat everyone the same fairly.
Yeah.
Because you cannot judge a book by its cover.
No.
You don't know who that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's one thing for sure that someone told me that I try to.
Especially in this inderdry, you're totally right.
You cannot tell.
Yeah, that person could really change your life one way or another.
I want to go take that person. This is your person. Go take care of him, and because
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that person is like, oh, I didn't know he was such a fantastic.
Have there been any kind of key customers that stand out or experiences along the way that really?
No, nothing that I want to mention.
Okay.
But there's been, from my waitress standpoint, I've said many times, I'm like, I told you so.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because they might judge. They might see that person in the title. I'm going to get a better tip than the person that's. How the hell do you know?
That's right.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So I always. That's one thing. You don't.
Yeah.
And then that all of a sudden, holy smokes.
Yeah.
As a waitress, to make sure you take care of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The same level of service, consistent service, that sort of stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
So.
Let's say you're sitting down with somebody that thinks they want to get into this industry and open a new restaurant. Mm-hmm. What sort of advice would you give them in terms of what to look out for or how to maybe learn from your mistakes along the way?
You're going to need to know your food costs, right? Making sure when you're making your menu, your food costs. For one, for sure, making your rent. Make sure you own or you have good rent. What you're bringing in, and waste.
Yeah.
Waste. You have to watch. What if this is cost you $20? You need to know. Yeah. You have employees that are being paid. Everyone, and judge it. Price everything out properly.
So basic overhead.
And overhead and get ready to work.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you want to be successful, you need to work at it.
Yeah.
To make it successful.
Yeah.
And then you can hire employees to do the job, and at the same time you're going to be there to make sure they're doing the job.
It's not a set it and forget it.
It's not like I got everything is going. Yeah. Here's the keys. I'm going out to vacation for a little while. See you in a couple months.
And a little side hustle or anything
it won't happen. You have to be able to work.
Yeah.
At least or have good person that you trust, a couple people that they're gonna do the job for you.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Get ready to work.
You got to be in love with it.
You have to be in love with it.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Within the industry, either here or abroad, is there a particular franchise model, business model that you really admire or you aspire to kind of become? Somebody you look up to or something that you look at as?
I looked up at a person. His name was Bob Glavich. He's still alive. It wasn't a restaurant. He just...
He's a local guy, right?
Local guy, yeah. Bob Glavich. He owned Rancid Industrial.
Yeah.
Right?
He had an awesome office. I sat in his office one
day. Bob is, I think, personally fantastic.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know, great with customer service. I think customer service has a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I get to meet a lot of people, especially being here at the restaurant. Just simple, hello, how are you? Give the girls a hug and kiss, sit them down, make sure they're comfortable. And I like to make them feel at home. And that was one thing Bob taught me.
Yeah.
Just like, he would walk into the plants and he was in a total different industry. He was trying to sell a hard hat and boots and other kind, but it was more
how you make them feel.
Yeah. How you make them feel. He would give them, here, try this hard hat. You try it on. It's comfortable. It's the new thing. Boots or new Band-Aids, whatever he might have been selling at the time.
So he was customer experience before customer experience was cool.
He was customer experience before he got to where he was.
Yeah.
Which was... He's done very well in his life. He's retired now. But that's one person, if I have to look up to somebody in town, that was one person that that's a lot of it. And another person was Paul Brown. He was a manager here.
Okay.
Before I owned it, I was a busboy. Just the way I would watch him take the door. And he was always very good at, at the front door, just dealing with older customers, younger people, just...
Making them feel special.
He made them, I was like, oh, geez, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He would take them and just pull out the shirt, hang up the coat.
Little stuff.
The little stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna, and that's one thing I just kept on. And you're always learning in this business anyway. I could be at another restaurant, I can see a manager do something or someone else do. I'm going, that's, never thought about that before.
Do you give much credit to these or much attention to these TV personalities? The John Taffers, the Gordon Ramsays you mentioned earlier?
No,
are they just all smoking?
I look, of course, you look, and you see a lot of that stuff, but you have to remember that a lot of that stuff's made for
it's
TV,
all entertainment.
Is
there merit to kind of their model?
No, there is lots of merit. Oh yeah, of course. Like sometimes I see the people, I'm like, their John is in a bar, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Those people don't have no clue.
That's right.
And then you get a guy with experience going in and just kind of rips them a new ass to get him to go, and that's more for TV.
But you're right with the base. They're not covering the basics, that sort of stuff.
Exactly. So he's just going in there cleaning up what we're talking about with people not being able to, watch and not take care of their customers and do the basics.
Yeah. Throughout your career, what's one of the biggest or hardest lessons you've ever had to learn?
One lesson for sure. Don't sign anything until you know what it's all about.
Oh yeah. When it comes to leases and.
Don't sign nothing and. In general, I don't know, you're in a long contract with something that you made a mistake and then you're stuck with it for another 5 years because you signed something. That's one thing.
That's good one. I tell that to a lot of...
I've made a few mistakes, a lot of mistakes, but I can't really recall them all now just because, I don't know.
Well, based on what you're saying there, and like I said, when we first started out, we made a lot of really stupid mistakes also. Mm-hmm. If you have the proper legal and financial advice out of the gate, you're so much better off than having to learn it the hard way. Yeah. If you had a chance to start over, would you do anything different?
I don't know. I think life in general, I think I'm happy with even the mistakes I made. I've learned from them, so I can't really say if I never made any mistakes, then I wouldn't.
That's right.
Be where I am today.
You can't discredit the failures.
That's really just, I don't know. For me, it's just life lessons. I can't look at any bad things. They're all opportunities that maybe were there and then.
100%. Yep. But they kind of built to where you are today.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
In 5 or 10 years, I'd like to. I'll probably still be in the restaurant business working. I don't know. I'll be working, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You're not taking the foot off the pedal yet?
No. I like to keep working.
Yeah.
And maybe take a little more easier in maybe 10 more years.
Yeah.
But I think I'll still be working. Keeps the brain going.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I think it's a drive in me. I look at my parents. My dad's 80. Not that he's working too much.
Yeah.
But he's still here and he keeps the mind going. My grandma's 90. She keeps going.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I hear all these other people retire and they're relaxing and then you hear all this.
That doesn't sound like that much fun though.
No. I don't want to do that. I want to retire and hopefully
still work.
But not as much.
Yeah. That's exactly it. I think anybody that's kind of in the business you are, and we live in a fast-paced world too. It's very creative, but I can't even imagine that idea of taking the foot off the pedal.
The only way I'll retire from here is when I sell the restaurant. How's that sound?
And then go buy another one.
No. there won't be any of that. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, there won't be any of that.
Cool.
No. But yeah, in 10 years, I'd like to, I don't know. I'll probably still be in the restaurant business, but at the same time thinking about retirement too. How's that sound?
Good.
Yeah.
So be a little closer. One step closer to retirement,
I guess. One step closer, yeah.
We like to end every episode of Storytellers with a rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
I know you probably got a chance to see these ahead of time, so maybe you're ready, but we'll jump into them anyway.
All right, go ahead.
Morning person or night hawk?
I'm a retired night hawk, so I'd say morning person now. Yeah.
Too old to be a night hawk.
Yeah,
do you prefer to read your news on a device or in the paper?
I'm still old school. I like it on the paper.
On the paper?
Yeah.
What's your favorite social media platform?
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah?
Yeah.
City life or country living?
I'm a city person.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I've tried
country?
it. Yeah.
No, I need to have people. there need to be people around.
Yeah.
Sometimes
even after doing this all day?
The country life. I like the country life, but there better be people around too, and lots of booze.
So even after, that's a given. But even after a day like you have here, you still like to be around people when you get home.
No, well, once you get home, you can get home and shut the door and relax, right? Yeah. But I like the hustle and bustle of, I don't know.
Cool. Yeah.
I was just in Toronto on Monday, and I love that feel.
The atmosphere, yeah.
The atmosphere.
I'm a total country guy, but I love New York.
Yeah.
I've been a couple times, and just the electricity of that city is.
It keeps you. If you're tired, you're gonna get going again.
Absolutely. What's one thing that's on your bucket list?
One thing that's on my bucket list: to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To watch a Super Bowl live.
Biggest pet peeve?
People that are not nice. I don't know. Like. I don't like rude people.
Yeah.
That's my biggest. I get very irritated when.
Yeah, I could see that, especially with what you're doing. Yeah.
I could say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Table for two. Sit down the menus. Enjoy your dinner. Can I get a drink? that would probably be my. For a pet peeve, that would be. And then from there, I'll be like, tell the waitress, careful. This
one bites.
This one bites. Yep. That way they know, hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
you handle them a little differently.
Most of the time when they come like that, they come with an attitude. They already have an attitude.
They're ready to roll.
They're ready to, you just don't, you could give them a drink. This is not good.
Yeah.
Next thing you bring over, this is not good. I'm like, that's why I like to warn the waitress.
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is Greek food.
Dogs or cats?
Dog.
Clean or messy? I got desk here, but you seem like a desk guy.
Clean. And I'm not a desk guy, no, but clean. I like clean.
A new one that I've added to this that you wouldn't have seen is, what's the song you hope they play at your funeral?
You wouldn't know it. It's a Greek song, so it's a Greek song that I like to play at my funeral. It has to do with the clarinet.
This is really full circle here because when I first started in business with my business partner at the time, back in 2007, we had a little B2B publication, business to business magazine that we started. It was about the size of this book. And it was a cool little marketing piece, and I'm quite confident you were the very first person we had on the cover.
I appreciate
so that's going back a while now.
If you come up with that copy, please bring it to me.
I have it. I do, and I will. Yes.
I want to see it.
Yes. Yep.
I think I remember, but I would like to see it. It'll refresh my memory.
Yeah.
I was looking at people sometimes will bring me old advertisements that I did with them back. I don't know. We did a chamber night.
Conversation.
Yeah, and I did it with Bob Glavich Jr.
Yeah.
And we split it, and I was just like looking at my tie and my shirt, and just different.
Throwback.
Throwback. Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Thanks, Alex.
Right.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.